Hi everybody, welcome to the session. I hope you're able to see me and hear me. Just give me a second. Let me start off my other machine and just check so that I can also look at your chats while you are while I'm doing the session. And this session basically is about previous year questions from CAT. And you're with me, Arun Sharma, and we are discussing this previous year questions of CAT here. So I'm just checking whether I'm live or not. And yeah, so I think we are indeed live here. And before I start the discussion, I also wanted to tell you about the promotions here. 19th February, you got CAT and OMITS 22 batch for engineering students, graduates. Devendra, Bharat, Parikshit, and Sameer are taking that. And 19th February, also beginner to advanced batch for CAT 22. Raman Tiwari, Ronak Kumar Shah, Udit Saini, and Ravi Manoram are taking that. And unlock 20% off on any CAT subscriptions. This has been extended till 19th February. So these are the amounts you'll save this column. And this column shows you the amounts saved, and this column is the price after drop. So you'll have to pay that, and of course you can also apply the my promo code, which is Sharma Cat Live. You can also apply this to get an additional discount on that. And apart from that, the other promotions here are the CAT Combat LR Special, questions based on logical reasoning. So the next CAT Combat is on 20th February, 12 p.m. And so this is a special combat with questions based on logical reasoning. Practice logical reasoning based questions and boost your preparation for CAT and OMITS. Rank 1 to 3 gets 100% scholarship, 4 to 10 gets 75% scholarship, 11 to 50 gets 50% scholarship, and 51 to 200 gets 25% scholarship. And you get a chance to win scholarships on this thing, and 12 p.m. is the time for the CAT Combat. And last chance to get into top B schools in 22. Maharashtra CET batch, 19th February. This is starting off. So you can have a look at that also if you are looking at MHCET. And MHCET gives you a possibility of joining some 300 plus high ROI MBA MMS courses. So top MBA colleges like JBIMS, SIMSRI, Pumba, except MBA CD scores, moderate difficulty level exam with no negative marking. In fact, not just moderate, it's an easy exam. So you just need to build on your speed here to be able to do that. And the other promotion is the Ask It Out. Unacademy Ask It Out is something that you can always look at. It's available on the Unacademy website as well as the Unacademy app, and there are brand new updates in this, and you get solutions in the preferred language, select the language you want your question to be answered in, and simply click crop and submit your doubts, and you can ask it out now. Go to the website, Unacademy website or app for this ask it out feature. So, chalo, with that promotion done, and this is the promo code you can use if you want to join using my promo code. This is the promo code you can use. Okay, so I'm picking up past year questions, previous year questions of CAT का session है. तो पहला question तुम लोग के लिए, this is the first question that I'm doing today. and we're doing around 7-8 questions, an hour-long session, and the session will be followed by an open house where you can actually come in and ask me any doubts you have, not just about the session, but anything about preparation for CAT. So that open house will be at 11 o'clock, and I'll just share the link of the open house here soon. So try this question. This is the first question we are doing for today. And what we'll do is we'll try to make it interactive. So you have to try to solve this question and give me an answer to this question, and then I'll solve it for you from my side. So I'll give you 2 minutes per two to 3 minutes per question to solve, and this is the first question. So we'll do it in a workshop kind of mode. So you'll try to solve this on your own. Take a pen, paper, be ready. And if you can get an answer, you can tell me what your answer is. So I've given you around 1 minute already. Any answers? Anybody? The question is talking about how many three-digit numbers are there. How many three-digit numbers are there? For which the product of the digits is more than 2 but less than 6. So when you're solving something like this, the first reaction has to be built on that if the product has to be more than 2 and less than 7, and it's a three-digit number, right? So three things there come the count there. First is that it's a three-digit number, and product of the number has to be the product of the numbers has to be either the product of the numbers has to be more than 2 but less than 6. So that means the product can be 3, 4, 5, 6. Hi Yashraj, good morning. So we are continuing with our series on previous year questions, and just reminding you there's an open house with me at 11 a.m. Immediately after this, you can get the you can see that on the CAT page of Unacademy, and you can come for that at 11 o'clock. So you can ask me in the open house mein, you get to, यहाँ पे तो you have to type whatever you want to check with me or discuss with me. In the open house you get to speak to me like a phone call. You got a audio feature, so it'll be convenient for us to talk there. So that's at 11 a.m. immediately after this. So it's my first open house. So I'm expecting some of you will turn up on that session, and you can ask me anything, not just about what I've taught here, but also about your preparation process, right? So look forward to having you there, Yashraj and other people. So coming back to this question, the question has given me two triggers, that the product of three-digit number, the digits of the three-digit number have to be either 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when I talk about 3 is a prime number. So if I want the product of three digits to be 3, it can only be using one digit as 3, one digit as 1, and a third digit as 1. And since the question has asked us how many such numbers are there, how many such numbers are there, so when I do this problem, when I'm doing this part, I realize that with 311 I can make 3 numbers. And this question is from the CAT 2020 paper, slot 1. With 3 numbers, 311, I can make 311, 131 or 113. Right? Now, similarly, for 5 is also a prime number, right? So 5 also, you have the same structure. A prime number you can only make using three numbers. Multiplication of 3 numbers for making a prime number can only be the prime number itself and 2 ones. Give me a second, yeah. And 2 ones, right? So coming back to this, so there are three values for this number also. So what you need to do is you need to decode this for 4 and 6, and you have to be absolutely cool and calm about doing these questions. When you look at a number like 4, again this structure of 411 operates for 4 also. If I use 2 ones, the third number can be 4, and that gives me 3 numbers again, right? The other way to do it is if I use a single one. Thinking has to be this way. If I use a single one and I want 2 numbers to give me a product 4 without using 1. And these questions, it's important to be able to write or to be able to build each of the values, because एक भी miss हो गया the number of solutions becomes wrong. You'll go wrong in the number of solutions. So you have to be very careful that you don't miss any structure. So thinking goes this way. So how do you ensure that you don't miss any structure? That's the key in such questions. So the thinking goes this way, that if I use a single 1 here, the other 2 numbers have to give me a product of 4 without using a 1. So the only way of you giving a product of 4 without using a 1 is 2, 2. And this also has 3 numbers, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 and 1, 2, 2. So for a number like 4, I've got 6 cases. Right? If I don't use a 1, can I make a 4? If I don't use a 1 in any one, can I make a 4? The answer is no, because 4 is 2 square. And even if I use both 2's, I'll have to use a 1, which is again going back to the same solution. Right? So 4 ka 6 cases ban gaya. That's the next part of the solution. And then when you look at 6, you look at 6. 6 again has the 6 on 1 structure. Two ones. If I use two ones in 6, I'll get three numbers, three ways of doing this. So 3 plus. Now then the next thing is, if I think about a single one, if I think of a single one, then the other two numbers can be 2, 3. And that's the only way to build it. Right? I cannot use I mean, and again, thinking here can take this shape. That if I use a 1, can I use a 5 and another number to get 6? No. If I use a single one, can I use a 4 and another number to get this? No. If I use a 1, can I use a 3 and another number to get this? The answer is yes. And this has 6 cases. Because 1, 3, 2 can be 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3 and 2, 2, 3, 1. So this is 6 cases. So there are 9 numbers here. So the total you are getting is 3 plus 6, 9, plus 3, 12, plus 9, 21. So the total you are getting is 21 cases. So you can make 21 numbers, 21 three-digit numbers, for which the product of their digits is more than 2 but less than 7. Right? Let's move to the next one. Try this question. This is again about counting how many numbers there are and then obviously taking the average of those numbers. The question is, the mean of all 4-digit even natural numbers will form A, where A greater than 0 is. Try this question. Okay, so let's have a look at this set. The mean of all 4-digit even natural numbers would form A, where A greater than 0 is. So what they're asking us here, this was an option based question. इस क्वेश्चन में मेरे पास ऑप्शन नहीं है यहाँ पे, बट maybe let's start solving this और उसके बाद बीच में फिर I'll try to see what options we should be building in this question. So you're talking about all 4-digit even numbers. The conditions are 4-digit even numbers of the form ABB where A greater than 0. So if you look at this question, ABB with A greater than 0, 4-digit even numbers. Right? So even numbers means the last 2 digits can be 2 2. The last 2 digits can be 4 4. The last 2 digits can be 6 6. The last 2 digits can be 8 8. Or the last 2 digits can be 0 0. Now what's going to happen when you build a number like AA22? The value of A can be anything like 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. Good morning, Jackie. Welcome to the session. 5 5 6 6 7 7 8 8 9 9. And in each of these numbers, we are doing this question. The question was the mean of all 4-digit even natural numbers of the form ABB, where A greater than 0 is. So what's going to happen in this situation is that the first 2 digits, whatever values you take, the values of A. Now the question does not tell me that A, B are different from each other. So you can even have a number like 2222. You can have a number like 2222. ठीक है ना? Or you can have a number like 4444, etc. But what you need to understand is each of these starting numbers will be equally shared amongst each one of them. So if I can use a 1122 here, I can use a 1144 here also. If I can use a 2222 here, I can use a 2244 also. So what happens in a situation like this? What happens in a situation like this is that if I use 22 as the last digits, 22 will appear a certain number of times with an appropriate value of AA, and 44 will also appear a certain number of times with the same values of AA, and 66 will also appear the same number of times with the same values of AA, with the same appropriate values of AA. Right? Same thing with 8 8 and 0 0. So if I want to find a mean of all the numbers that I can make, I can do the mean in two parts. I can break the mean into two parts. I can break the mean into these digits, which will simply be the mean of 22, 44, 66, 88 and 0 0. That's it. And if you think about this in this form, 0 0, 22, 44, 66 and 88, becomes an arithmetic progression, and the middle term of the arithmetic progression will be the average of all the terms. That means the average of the last 2 digits here, when you write all these numbers, the average of the last 2 digits will be 44. The average of the last 2 digits will be 44. Now when I talk about the first few digits, the first 2 digits, it depends on the value of AA. Right? So AA का क्या cases हो सकता है? So what will happen is when I use 1 1 for example, for AA. I can use 1 1 once in each of these 5 instances. So I'll have numbers like 1122, 1144, 1166, 1188 and 1100. So the terms double one will be used 5 times. And this will be true also for the remaining values of A. So likewise 2 will also get used 5 times, 3 will also get used 5 times, 4 will also get used 5 times, all the way to 9 will also get used 5 times. तो 1 से 9 अगर तुम जा रहे हो, again this is an AP and the average of this AP will be the fifth term 5. So the overall average of all these numbers is going to be 5544. If I remember the options correctly, इस question में क्या था कि there was only one option with 4 in the end. So even if you just realize this part, you would get the answer immediately in this question. This is barely a 30-40 second question if you understand the structure of what is to be done. Right? And CAT gives you this possibility from time to time in the quant section especially. It gives you the possibility of doing a few questions in blitz mode in 45 seconds, 1 minute, etc. The pehla question you had to be careful. It was not doable in a minute. If you try to do the first question very quickly, you'll make errors. But the second question was possible to be a blitz because identifying 4 as the last 2 digits ka average is not going to take too much time. And inside the options, there's only one option having that property with 4 there. So it could actually be a 30-40 second question. And the importance of in actual CAT problem solving, the importance of going to the it's all about average time taken per attempt, right? So if you're attempting 13 questions in 40 minutes, in the CAT exam, 3 extra attempts can be, if you can actually manage wherever you are, whatever score you are getting in your mock test, if you can actually manage 3 extra attempts, inside a section, it could lead to 9 extra attempts if you can do this in all 3 sections from wherever you are. Let's say you're getting a score of 80 overall, and you are doing, let's say, 85-90% correct answers. So you are getting the maybe 30 questions right and 6-7 questions wrong. So you are attempting 37 questions in the paper. So you are attempting on an average 12-13 questions per section. Especially in quants and verbal, if you can take this to 16 questions per section, you will suddenly be able to attempt 40. DI में उतना आसान नहीं होता है going to 16 attempts, but quants and verbal में if you can go to 16 attempts per section, quants and section verbal section, you're suddenly at 45 attempts. And if you are at 45 attempts and you still get around 7 incorrect, so you are getting marks of 38 questions. 38 questions, 114 marks minus 7. You are ending up with at a score of around 107. Assuming that all these 7 give you negative marks. If some of them are theta, you will end up at 108, 109. Right? And so this is a score difference of almost 30 marks on raw score. And at 80 percentile, you are at what? At 80 percentile, you are somewhere in the 80 net score, you are somewhere in the 94, 96 range, band percentile wise. In the 107, at the 107 score, you are suddenly at 99.5. So the last jump that you need is these extra 3 questions. और अगर तुम 13 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हो, 12 से 13 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट कर रहे हो पेपर में, तुम्हारा एवरेज टाइम पर अटेम्प्ट is around 3 to 3.3 minutes. If you want to bring the attempts down to 16, up to 16, you need to bring the average time per attempt to 2.5 minutes. So the average time you need to shave off the average time by approximately, so 3.3 minutes if you are using per attempt, or 3 minutes you are using per attempt. So ये 180 seconds से 198 seconds के बीच में तुम ले रहे हो per attempt, और यहाँ पे तुम 150 seconds per attempt ले रहे हो. So imagine a situation where now if you are able to do 13 attempts, you are able to maintain this range. So let's say you do 4 questions of 3.3 minutes. You do 4 questions at an average of 3.3 minutes. 3.3 minutes. So let's say around 12 to 13 minutes, you are in 4 questions. You have 4 attempts, right? Or let's say in 9 minutes, 9 to 10 minutes, you are at 3 attempts. 9 to 10 minutes per you are at 3 attempts. So after that, if you can squeeze in one attempt of 1.5 minutes for every 3 questions that you're doing as you do. If you can squeeze in one attempt of 1.5 minutes every third question, every fourth question. So what happens is 3 questions 10 minutes, 4 questions 11 minutes. 9 to 10 minutes for 3 questions, fourth question 11 minutes. So your average comes down to around 2.75. That's all you need to do. तो 2.75 एवरेज पे 16 अटेम्प्ट नहीं होगा, 15 अटेम्प्ट हो जाएगा तुम्हारा. So if you're going 3.3 minutes, that means you are taking 12, you are doing only 12 attempts. So 3 अटेम्प्ट तुम्हारा बढ़ जाएगा, और 3 अटेम्प्ट बढ़ने का वैल्यू, 6 अटेम्प्ट बढ़ने का वैल्यू in the exam is close to 25 marks, right? Because if you the other factor is, as you get more attempts, it will work two ways. One way it increases your score. ऐसे तो by default 6 attempts, if all of them are correct, into 3 gives you only 18 marks. But what happens is that if your average time per attempt is coming down to below 3, what happens is you get more time to think towards the end of the problems or of the paper. So यहाँ पे errors कम हो जाएंगे, और तुम्हारा जो मिसिंग होता है कि ये वाला क्वेश्चन ट्राई किया नहीं हो रहा है, वो खत्म हो जाएगा, वो कम हो जाएगा. So that's why it's very important when you are building your chapters in your preparation. It becomes very important to build capacities. Uh, to build capacities uh, which allow you to do this in at least in some chapters. तो तुम प्रिपरेशन स्ट्रैटेजी में ये आइडेंटिफाई करो कौन से चैप्टर्स में तुम ब्लिट्ज सॉल्विंग इंट्रोड्यूस करोगे, right? So anyway, let's come back to this question. Try this question now. This question is also based on a simple trigger. क्या है? The question says, this is based on functions of course. The question says f5 plus x is equal to f5 minus x, right? For every real x, and fx is equal to 0, has four distinct roots. Then what is the sum of these roots? So first of all, you need to understand that fx, if you have fx plus 5 equals f5 minus x, or actually f5 plus x is equal to f5 minus x. If these two are equal, it means that this function has equality for every, I mean, for example, if I put x is equal to 1 in this function, I'll have f6 is equal to f4. If I use x is equal to 2, I'll get f7 is equal to f3. Right? If x is equal to 3, you get f8 is equal to f2. F8 is equal to f2. So what happens when you say that and even for even for values, just give me a second. I'm just trying to check. There's going to be a open house session immediately after this session. I'm just trying to check whether I've got the link etc. there, so that I can share that with you here. But anyway, अभी तक तो मिला नहीं मेरे को link. 11 o'clock supposedly है open house session. So we're trying to do that. Open house session, you can come and ask me questions on chat, on audio. So that's the advantage of that. That you as YouTube viewers, as YouTube subscribers to the Unacademy CAT-alyst channel, you can actually talk and interact with us as if you are calling us. ठीक है? तो इसमें anyway, coming back to this question, इस question में what you realize is that अगर कोई भी pair देखो which are equal, the sum of the arguments is always 10. And even if you use decimal, suppose I use x is equal to 1.1. So what we'll get is f6.1 is equal to f3.9. So कुछ भी मैं करूँ, and what will happen is, since the question says that this expression has four distinct real roots, and then is asking me the sum of these roots. So four distinct real roots, that means I can't have a x0. If I use an x0, I get an f5 is equal to f5. These f5 can't be a root. A root of an equation happens when, for example, f6, if the value of f6 is 0, then you say 6 is a root of the equation. Then you say 6 is the root of the equation. Right? That's when something like this works. ठीक है. So what will happen here? अगर f6 इसका रूट है तो f4 भी रूट होगा because f6 and f4 is 0 are equal. तो जो भी रूट पे करोगे, सपोज वॉट एवर वैल्यू यू टेक, सपोज यू टेक एक्स एस 7, x7 पे दैट मीन्स f12 पे रूट आ रहा है, तो एक पैरेलल रूट आएगा f-2 पे. सो व्हाट विल हैपन इज दैट द सम ऑफ टू पेयर्स, two roots will always be 10. And since the question says that this is four roots, the sum of the four roots, two pairs of two roots will be 20 only. So the answer is A. Right? The answer is A. Okay, let's go to the next question now. This is an intricate question, good question. इसमें आई मीन ये तीनों क्वेश्चन अगर देखोगे तो फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड तो इवन इफ यू हैव कॉमन सेंस यू कैन सॉल्व, कॉमन सेंसिकल क्वेश्चंस है. थर्ड में थोड़ा फंक्शंस का यूज आना चाहिए. फोर्थ के लिए तुमको एवरी थर्ड फोर्थ क्वेश्चंस every third fourth question should will actually test your solving abilities inside the CAT. So इसके लिए your graph plotting uh, your graph plotting process has to be strong. So I want you to try this question first. Question is saying the area of the region satisfying the inequalities mod x minus y greater than 0, y less than equal to 1. So first thing you need to understand before you start plotting this the graphs here, that whenever there's a area of the region question, जब भी area of the region question आता है, तो वैसे question में there will always be a closed area that will get formed. There will always be an enclosed area that will get formed. So try to build an enclosed area based on this understanding. So let's start. करते हैं इसको, ये भी functions chapter का ही है. Now y greater than equal to 0. Y greater than 0 equal to 0. If I think of this as the x-axis and this is the y-axis, you should remember from your coordinate geometry understanding that y is equal to 0 is your equation of the x-axis. Right? So y greater than equal to 0 means that we are talking about the area or the region above this. ठीक है? We're talking about the region above this. And the other part tells me that y is less than equal to 1. So y is equal to 1 जो है, y is equal to 1 is a line parallel to the x-axis. Let me draw something which is slightly giving me enough space to do this drawing. तो y equals 1 ये वाला लाइन है, and y less than equal to 1 means this line below, the area below this line. So when you do these two, when you make these two lines, you realize that the area getting built here is this area, the band, but this is an infinite band. So अभी इस area का जो जो area आने वाला है, that's going to be infinite. So to be able to make the area out, you have to understand what mod x minus y less than equal to 1 means. So let me try to draw that on a new sheet. Let's say this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. Let me first draw mod x minus y is equal to 1. Let's first draw this line, because we are talking about less than equal to 1. So whenever we're talking about a range in a question, in a question on graph plotting, whenever you're talking about the range of any inequality, first of all, I mean it will always be, specifically this is a linear inequality. When you write mod x minus y, when you write mod x minus y less than equal to 1, this is a linear inequality, right? So the range of a linear inequality, suppose, I mean the basic theory or the basic theoretical logic goes that if you can make the line, let's say it's a line like this, so this is the equality part, right? The inequality will either be below this or above this area wise. So that's why when I want to plot this, my first focus is to plot this mod x minus y is equal to 1. So when you try to plot a graph, your focus, your first thought has to be, okay, can I put values of x? Now, when I'm plotting any graph, I want to travel the x-axis on both sides. I want to travel the x-axis on both sides and try to see how it behaves at different values. So the first, and you should never be afraid of plotting graphs, because plotting graphs may essentially what you do most of the times, and you can do this as long as you want, as long as you need, is you just keep taking values of x, you'll keep getting values of y. So उसमें ग्राफ प्लॉटिंग में कोई दिक्कत होता नहीं है. तो x जब जीरो लेंगे, यहाँ पे x जब जीरो लेंगे, y का वैल्यू -1 आएगा, because mod x will be 0 and minus y has to be +1, so y will be -1. So I am able to find the point 0 -1 on the graph of mod x minus y less than equal to 1. I am able to find this this graph. Right? Then when I move x to 1, then y becomes 0. If I put x as 1 in mod x, the value of that would end up as 1, and the value of y will then be 0. So x is equal to 1, 0 is this point. Now if I talk about x is 2, I'm continuing going on the y-axis, on the x-axis to the right. If I talk about x is 2, y will be 1. So I got a next point which is 2, 1. And I should know from the equation itself, from the expression itself, that this is a linear function, linear graph. So I know that these points have to be connected like this. This is the line on the y towards to the right of the x-axis, of the y-axis. This is the line for mod x minus y is equal to 1. And we also need to confirm this with the other side, that if x is minus 1, if I put x as minus 1, mod x will become 1 again, and mod x minus y is 1, so y is 0. So on this side also, this graph is going the same way. Minus 1, 0. By this time you should have the confidence that if I just connect these 2 points, and since it's a linear graph, and I just continue this line further, I'll get my my line mod x minus y is equal to 1 line on the left side of the y-axis. So ये V-shaped graph बन रहा है mod x minus y is equal to 1 का. This is the V-shaped graph for mod x minus y equals 1. And since this is a V-shaped graph of mod x minus y is equal to 1, so uh, since we are able to build this V-shaped graph here, so the next issue that works out here in this case is we need to now superimpose. First of all, we need to identify, as I told you, then mod x minus y less than or equal to 1 will be either an area inside this on this side or an area on that side. So are you going to go above this line? Are you going to go here? Or are you going to go here? To understand that, there's a simple thought to understand that. And that thought is that if I take a number like, let's say, y is equal to 2 and x is equal to 0, does this lie in this inequality? Does this obey this inequality? So if I put x is equal to 0, 0 minus 2 is less than or equal to 1. I can see that this satisfies the inequality, and hence this solution is correct. That means the graph is on this side. The correct part of the graph for the correct part of the area for mod x minus y less than or equal to 1 is on the top. बॉटम ट्राई करना है तो ये पॉइंट है जैसे 0 माइनस 2. कोई और पॉइंट भी ले सकते हो तुम. You could take a point, for example, 2 0 also. तो 2 0 अगर लिया, x2 y0 ये पॉइंट लिया अगर यहाँ पे, तो x2 is 2 and y0 1 0. 2 minus 0 less than or equal to 1 does not satisfy, and hence the correct answer, I mean this part is not to be taken. So once you realize that, all you have to do is superimpose this graph on our other graph. And if I try to superimpose that graph on this graph, I realize that this graph would, good morning Shushan, welcome to the session. This graph will go this way on this side. I'll go this way on that side. Right? So this will go this way on that side. And now पहले क्या था कि यहाँ पे this area was open area with infinite area. Now the area is enclosed by 3 lines. One is this line. Let me try to draw this using a different color now. The enclosed area. The enclosed area is, one part of the enclosed area is this. The next part of the enclosed area is this. The next part of the enclosed area is this. These are the lines that are creating the enclosed area. ठीक है, तो अब इसका एरिया निकालो, कितना एरिया आ रहा है बताओ। तो इसके एरिया निकालने के लिए क्या करना होगा, ये पॉइंट 10 है, ये पॉइंट -10 है, और इसका एरिया निकालने के लिए तुम क्या कर सकते हो कि यू कैन थिंक ऑफ दिस एज अ रेक्टेंगल, you can think that this of a rectangle whose base is 2 and height is 1, and then you can think about this area as a triangle, and this area also is a triangle, so two equal triangles whose height is 1, और ये पॉइंट जो है, ये जो पॉइंट है y1 है, और mod x माइनस y इज इक्वल टू 1 में विथ y1 ये पॉइंट 2 था, सो ये पॉइंट 2 1 है, और ये पॉइंट 1 1 है. So if you look at the base, if you think of this as the base and this is the height is 1 and the base is also 1. So the area of this is half. This triangle is half, और इस triangle का भी area half होगा. ठीक है, तो इन दोनों का एरिया हाफ रहेगा, इन दोनों का एरिया हाफ रहेगा, तो टोटल एरिया 2 + 0.5 + 0.5, the total area will be 3. So total area 3 आ गया यहाँ पे. ठीक है, so this is what you will get in this scenario. So I guess we are running out of time now. We're running out of time in terms of our session. So there was supposed to be a Ask Me Anything session by me on the Unacademy open house session. So I'm just trying to start that off. अगर start हो जाता है तो ठीक है, नहीं start होता है तो you guys can I mean we will try to do that tomorrow. Seems to be some issue with the starting of that session. So I'm not getting the starting link for the this thing, and the calls are basically coming frantically from the Unacademy side also. So so we'll wind up then. Thank you so much. Abhi ke liye I'll take your leave. Bye bye, and try to log into that to the Educator app, to the Unacademy Learner app, and try to see whether I'm able to start my. I'm just going to try to start the open house in the next couple of minutes. हो जाएगा तो ठीक है, नहीं तो we'll meet tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. चलो, bye bye.
श्री को बोल दिए लॉग इन कर लेगा।
जरूरत नहीं,
हाँ
जरूरत नहीं।
मना कर दे,
हम्म,
मना कर दे।
हम्म,
होगा। बस सब मैंने दाल सब मेरे चेक दे रख दिया सब मौसम। नाश्ता क्या खाओ? नाश्ता सैंडविच की पोहा कि कुछ फ्रेंच टोस्ट रखा? हाँ फ्रेंच टोस्ट खाओगे? हाँ क्या अभी चल रहा है तुम्हारा वो?
सैंडविच खाऊं।
अच्छा पता नहीं अब वो बचा है कि नहीं सलामी।
अच्छा,
उसके बिना चल जाएगा? हाँ
हाँ चल जाए। सैंडविच में देख लो, कबाब डलवा दो।